Bruce Campbell's Hysteria is his first horror show in years, and it's the perfect follow-up to his fame-making franchise. Campbell is best known for playing protagonist Ash Williams in the classic horror series Evil Dead. Released in 1981, The Evil Dead immediately cemented Campbell as an 80s horror icon, along with writer-director Sam Raimi. Campbell reprised the role in the next two movies, Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, then once again returned in 2015 for the spin-off TV show Ash vs. Evil Dead. Now 66 years old, Campbell has to play a different kind of role than college student Ash when taking on horror projects. Having joined the Hysteria cast, the actor plays the town's chief of police, Dandridge, who is trying to investigate a mysterious disappearance while having run-ins with some local kids who are starting a Satan-inspired band. Hysteria. A fun show, but it is a notable role in Campbell's career for one reason. Peacock's Hysteria is Bruce Campbell's first horror show since Ash vs. Evil Dead's ending. Hysteria is a great return to horror for Campbell. Hysteria is Campbell's first horror TV show role since Ash vs. Evil Dead, which ended in 2018. The three-season series followed Ash Williams decades after the original trilogy, when he has to break out the old chainsaw hand and boomstick when he accidentally unleashes the Evil Dead in the pilot episode. The sequel series was fairly well regarded, and fans were dismayed when Ash vs. Evil Dead was cancelled before season 4, despite Sam Raimi and Campbell having plans for the next season. Now, Hysteria finally brings the actor back to horror television. While he's in a completely different role than the one he played for so long in the Evil Dead franchise, Hysteria gives the actor another shot in the genre. It's not Ash Williams, but Campbell's new take on a new role has the added fun of giving him something new to work with while also giving audiences another opportunity to see him in the genre that made him famous, especially as Hysteria incorporates some of the dark humor Campbell and Raimi use so well in the Evil Dead. Hysteria pays homage to 80s horror movies like Campbell's own Evil Dead classics. Hysteria has slasher and supernatural elements. Beyond merely returning Campbell to horror TV, Hysteria stands on its own as a quality horror TV show and a great homage to past horror. In addition to its themes, the style of Hysteria also harkens back to 80s-era horror films. It incorporates both over-the-top slasher kills and supernatural elements that clearly play with tropes that were first established in this decade of horror films. Hysteria is a great tribute to the 80s as an era, deeply rooted as it is in its period setting appropriately for that 1980s setting. Hysteria deals with the satanic panic phenomenon, which was a conspiracy theory over imagined cases of Satan worshipping and satanic ritual abuse that spread to become a cultural moral panic in the 80s and early 90s. As the teenagers' band plays their relatively tame satanic metal, the hysterical moralizing of the parents in the suburban landscape creates an intentionally campy feel to Hysteria. With Campbell's appearance adding nostalgia, Hysteria deftly captures the extravagance of both 80s horror and the decade itself. Hysteria puts a great twist on Bruce Campbell's iconic Evil Dead horror role. Campbell plays the chief of police in Hysteria. Evil Dead 2 Bruce Campbell as Ash Williams looking crazy. While Hysteria brings Campbell's career full circle, it is also an interesting departure from his Ash Williams roles. As a college-aged student who stumbles into waking the Evil Dead, Ash is a do-it-yourself horror hero who is thrust into a nightmarish situation and must figure out his own creative ways to get out of it. As Chief Dandridge in Hysteria, Campbell is tasked with portraying a more mature character. While he may not anticipate the supernatural, he is already willingly a crime fighter, whereas Ash had to transform himself to take down the villain. Tracing Campbell's career as it relates to Hysteria helps highlight the strengths of the new horror show. Hysteria is not reinventing the wheel, many of its beats have been seen before. Rather, Hysteria takes existing tropes that audiences love and turns them on their heads to create some unexpected dynamics, epitomized by Campbell's police chief role. In that, Hysteria makes for a horror TV show that is deliciously fresh and familiar, making it a fitting place for Bruce Campbell to make his return.